defeats Bolsonaro to again become Brazil's president. Lula da Silva has done it again. 20 years after winning the Brazilian presidency, the leftist defeated incumbent Jair Bolsonaro on Sunday in what was an extremely tight election that marks an about-face for the country of Brazil after 4 years of the far-right politician being in power. Pedestrian bridge collapses in India, killing at least 132 people. Military teams were searching on Monday for people missing after a 143-year-old suspension bridge collapsed into a river on Sunday in the western Indian state of Gujarat, sending hundreds of people plunging into the water and killing at least 133 people in one of the country's worst accidents in years. Just in time for Halloween, the sun kind of looks like a jack-o'-lantern. That's right, NASA caught the sun smiling down on us, but the grin could signal a solar storm. NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory this week captured an image of the sun in ultraviolet light that features 3 dark patches that look like a smiling face, but the face could be a signal for a solar storm with problems for Earth. And one man just couldn't wait for Halloween as a California man dressed as Fireball whiskey bottle collared for drunken conduct. A Halloween reveler dressed as a bottle of Fireball cinnamon whiskey was arrested early today for drunken disorderly conduct, domestic battery, and several other charges, according to California jail records. Dominic Salazar, 31, was booked into the county lockup at around 3:20 a.m. on an assortment of felony, misdemeanor, and vehicular counts. Biden lost his temper after Zelensky asked for more aid days after getting $1 billion. United States President Joe Biden reportedly lost his temper after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky asked for more U.S. assistance just days after getting $1 billion in aid. New reporting suggests 80% of Kiev is without water after Russian strikes. Large swaths of the Ukrainian capital of Kiev have lost access to water and electricity after Russian strikes on the city's infrastructure Monday morning. Quote, currently, due to damage to the energy facility near Kiev, 80% of the capital's consumers remain without water supply, announced Kiev Mayor Vitaly Klitschko over Telegram. South Korean authorities say they had no guidelines for Halloween crowds as families grieve 155 victims. South Korean authorities said on Monday that they had no guidelines to handle the huge crowds that gathered for Halloween festivities in Seoul as families in the country and around the world mourn the 155 victims of Saturday night's crowd crush. A 50-year-old Indiana man has been arrested on murder charges in the 2017 Delphi killings of 2 teenage girls. Indiana police announced the arrest of a suspect on Monday in the 2017 killings of 2 teenage girls in Delphi, Indiana, a case that has puzzled the community and online crime sleuths for years. Richard M. Allen, 50 years old, of Delphi, was arrested on 2 counts of murder. 4 people sickened, including one in critical condition, in LAX hazmat incident. At least 4 people have been sickened, including one who is in, quote, critical condition, after a reported carbon dioxide leak at Los Angeles International Airport Monday morning. Planet killer asteroid spotted hiding in the sun's glare. Astronomers have spotted 3 near-Earth asteroids that were lurking undetected within the glare of the sun. One of the asteroids is the largest potentially hazardous object posing a risk to Earth to be discovered in the last 8 years. Mel Tucker under the microscope after 4 Michigan State Spartans were suspended following a fight. In the moments after Michigan's 29-7 victory Saturday night, a group of Michigan State Spartan football players punched, kicked, and slammed around Michigan defensive back Jaden McBurrows as the teams headed toward their respective locker rooms. Eurozone inflation hits record high of 10.7% as growth slows sharply. Eurozone inflation rose above the 10% level in the month of October, highlighting the severity of the cost of living crisis in the region and adding more pressure on the European Central Bank. Bitcoin holds above 20,000. The price of Bitcoin has fallen 1% over the past 24 hours, back down to $20,500 a coin. The largest cryptocurrency had largely traded between $19,000 and $20,000 from the beginning of September, until a rally last week sent the token above that range to levels at which it appears to have consolidated. Somebody free Mickey Mouse. A Disney resort in China is locked down because of COVID, and the visitors can't leave. Shanghai's Disney resort abruptly suspended operations on Monday to comply with China's strict COVID-19 prevention measures, with all visitors at the time of the announcement directed to stay in the park until they return a negative test for the virus. Philippine death toll from Storm Nalgae rises to 98, disaster agency says. Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is set on Monday to fly over flood-submerged districts to inspect the damage after Tropical Storm Nalgae barreled across the Southeast Asian country over the weekend, killing at least 98 people. Norway puts its military on raised alert level in response to the Ukraine war. Norway's prime minister said on Monday that his country's military would be put on a raised level of alert as part of increased security measures in response to the war in Ukraine. Violent clashes break out between students and security forces across Iran, rights groups are saying. Violent clashes broke out between security forces and student protesters at university campuses across the country of Iran on Sunday, according to activist and human rights groups in the country. 5 IDF soldiers were hurt in ramming attack near Jericho. Palestinian assailant shot dead. A Palestinian driver plowed his vehicle into Israeli soldiers at 2 locations south of the West Bank city of Jericho on Sunday afternoon, injuring 5 of them before being shot dead, officials said. Police are being urged to treat the Dover attack as terrorism as suspect's home is being searched. The United Kingdom police are being urged to treat Sunday's petrol bomb attack on an immigration center in Dover as a terrorist incident. The call came as police investigating the incident confirmed that the suspect, who killed himself after the suspected attack, was a 66-year-old man from High Wycombe. The EU is considering listing Iran's Revolutionary Guards as a terror group, says Berlin. The European Union and Germany are examining whether to list Iran's Revolutionary Guards as a terrorist organization, the German foreign minister said on Sunday.